Recognized by Plutarch as one of the most influential figures in Greece during the late 5th century BC, Lysander of Sparta arose to political prominence during the Peloponnesian War. As the war was nearing its end, the momentum of power had shifted from the Athenians to the Spartans. With the financial support of the Persians, Lysander commanded the Spartan navy and led them to victories in the battles of Nautium and Aegospotami. Athenian surrender soon followed, and Lysander began putting in place the plan of Spartan hegemony. All the democratic constitutions of the Greek city-states were quickly replaced with oligarchical governments headed by the Spartans. In Athens, Lysander established a group of 30 officials to rule tyrannically over the Athenians. As the new overseer of Greece, he dealt harshly with all enemies that tried to rise against him and his political allies. His efforts in military and political affairs brought many riches, but he chose not to enrich himself with the treasure he had won, opting instead to give it to the Spartan state. But his deliverance of foreign riches to Sparta caused great upheaval among the populace. Even the Spartan kings feared that Lysander had become master of the entire country. His popularity reached as far as Asia, which roused the jealousy of the Spartan king, Agesilaus II. The king's resentment of Lysander stirred him to seek out his true goal, to usurp the Spartan constitution and to make himself king. In 395 BC, his time would come to an abrupt end. Persuaded by the Persians to rise against Sparta, the city of Thebes lured the Spartans into a battle at the city of Haliartus, and Lysander was among those killed in the fighting. His body was later recovered and buried in the region of Phocis. After the death of Lysander, Spartan hegemony would decrease in power under Agesilaus. The Corinthian and Boeotian wars reduced Sparta's mythological image as the most powerful city in Greece. By 371 BC, Sparta would be overshadowed by the rising power of Thebes and would never again claim dominance over the whole of Greece. And now we shall turn our attention to his Roman counterpart. Known for reinstating the dictatorship and reforming the Roman constitution, Lucius Cornelius Sulla fought his way out of generational obscurity to become the leading man in Rome. At the age of 30, he obtained the quaestorship and served under the consul Gaius Marius in the Jugurthine War in Africa. In the war, Sulla distinguished himself by obtaining Jugurtha's surrender, which set off a decades-long feud with Marius that lasted after his death. During this time, Sulla saw action in the Cimbrian and Social Wars, where his success marked him as a potential consul for Rome in 89 BC. At this time, there was speculation over who would be assigned to the campaign in Asia against the Pontic king Mithridates VI. Ultimately, Sulla won out over all the others, and by 87 BC, he was marching the legions eastward. Plutarch's account notes that over the next 2 years, Sulla and Mithridates engaged in several major battles in Greece. After sustaining major losses in the war, Mithridates came to a truce with Sulla in late 85 BC at the behest of his own general. This victory propelled Sulla's reputation to greater heights, much to the fear of the Roman elite. Not long after the truce, a civil war broke out as Rome's political leaders united to stop Sulla from assuming total control of the state. But Sulla quickly returned to Rome and began killing off his enemies within the state, causing the streets to fill with blood and death without limit. He then revived the dictatorship after 120 years and issued 600 proscriptions against his enemies, intent on eliminating all threats to his power. Among these was the young Julius Caesar, the nephew of Marius, whom Sulla feared would become the greatest man in Rome. But after 3 years of political reformation, Sulla willingly relinquished the dictatorship in 79 BC, wishing to return electoral power to its citizens. He would pass away the following year from what was likely a ruptured ulcer brought on by alcohol abuse. After Sulla, the Roman Republic would continue towards its inevitable transformation into an empire. Much of the changes within the state were brought on by the man whom Sulla feared the most, the future dictator, Julius Caesar.